Hi, hello, hi. Glad to have you all on the live. Hello, hi, hi everyone. Thank you for the waves. Glad to know you were here. Today we are talking about consciousness, my favorite topic, and we actually curated this entire series. It's going to be a new series that we've started, and we are going to go live, both Jessica and I, every week. We will talk about the A to Z of consciousness, and we will be just diving deeper into the talk about consciousness, doing it one letter at a time. So today, being the first episode of this series, we're definitely talking about A. Yeah, obviously A for, and we'll talk about A for awareness. So, why we started this series was because, okay, so let me just introduce myself to you guys. I am a certified Access Consciousness practitioner. I'm a certified Theta healer, and around these two healing modalities that I'm certified in, there are so many questions that people have, and I'm always welcome to questions. But to be honest, I have a little difficulty explaining what consciousness is, because can you define consciousness in a few set of words? Can you define consciousness at all, actually? So, this is why we started these series, so we can talk a little bit about consciousness. We can invite questions from people, from all our listeners, to give you some more information, to throw some more light about what consciousness is. And with the next 26 weeks that we talk about the different letters of consciousness, we will try to bring in all the topics, all the areas of consciousness to our greatest capacities. That is what we wish to do. So, like I said, it's very difficult to define consciousness. Consciousness is God, God is consciousness. It's like actually asking someone to, define God in a span of a couple of minutes. So, instead of defining consciousness, today I just want to bust some myths around consciousness, because people have so many different connotations, so many different definitions of consciousness that pulls them away from consciousness. So probably before we enter the discussion of the A to Z of consciousness, it's going to be great if we just learn a little bit about consciousness, learn what consciousness is and what consciousness isn't actually. So the founders of consciousness, the founders of Access Consciousness, not the founders of consciousness, the founders of the healing modality of Access Consciousness, Dr. Dane Heer, Dr. Gary Douglas. Now, these guys, they define consciousness as consciousness being something that includes everything and judges nothing. Consciousness is a space where judgment does not exist. Everything else is a part of consciousness minus judgment. So if you look at that, people may wonder, so is consciousness all spiritual enlightenment? Is consciousness all about being connected to the divinity, connected to divine? Is consciousness that state of constant meditation where your eyes are shut to the outside world and you are just peeping into your insides? So, does consciousness require you to drop away all of your materialistic worldly desires? Is that a requirement of consciousness? So, there are so many questions around it. And people may also wonder, is consciousness all about thinking positively? Are you always supposed to be in a good frame of mind, thinking positive thoughts, emitting something known as great positive auric vibes? Is that consciousness? Or is consciousness an upliftment to a greater space of being a human? I mean, do human beings have different spaces, different levels at which they exist? So people also wonder, they ask me, how do you do this healing every day? Doesn't it get boring for you? Isn't it annoying getting into people's lives, dealing with their personal issues? Doesn't it drain you of your energy? Doesn't it get difficult to entangle with so many energies at all times? So yeah, there is this huge point of view that consciousness is boring, consciousness is tedious, it is annoying, and people just don't want to choose consciousness. They don't want to be in the energy of consciousness because of all of these uh, limited points of view, this limited belief system, this limited thinking. And some people may also think that consciousness is this energy of give and take. I must give away my fun, my pleasure, my enjoyment, my excitement, and to be able to receive consciousness, because people think consciousness is again very serious work. It's very, very serious, and you have to put a lot of hard work, a lot of time, effort. Yeah, so people may feel that I don't have time for consciousness in my life. I'm running my household, I'm running my work, my life is all jam packed. How do I take out time for consciousness? It requires so much of time and effort. And all of these thoughts, all of these points of view about consciousness makes consciousness a very heavy space. Like all the above things that I just said, doesn't it make you feel a little heavy that, oh my god, I'm better off without consciousness. I'd rather not choose it. I'm happy the way I am. It's all okay. And people may also not choose consciousness because there is this huge space of doubt. Like a lot of people tell me that, consciousness, I'm not fit for it. I'm not carved out for it. You're doing it because you're made to do it. And I'm like, no, that is so wrong. Consciousness is for one and all. Consciousness is, everybody is made to choose it in their own ways. A lot of people end up choosing it through crisis, actually. So that's another point of view, to be honest, that people think that you need to have some problem in your life to fix, to jump into this ocean of consciousness. So a lot of people say that, oh, don't tell me about this consciousness jazz that you do, because my life is pretty much okay. My health is all right. I fall sick a couple of times in a year, but that's normal. My finances are okay. I'm paying my bills. I do have a few financial crunches here and there, but that's also normal. My relationships are all right. I mean, I have some emotional baggage in some relationships, but that's also normal. So people are trying to fit into this normalcy of their lives, which is taking them so far away from consciousness. They're actually trying to locate some crisis, some problem area in their life that they can fix, for which they must choose consciousness. So let me tell you, consciousness doesn't require you to have a problem in hand that you can fix. Consciousness is not your therapist. Consciousness is not your psychologist. Consciousness is not your doctor. Consciousness is something that you just choose out of the energy of desire. Today, I desire to have consciousness in my life so I can choose to live greater. So I can have more possibilities to choose from. And looking back at my own example, I do want to tell all of you that I did enter the study of consciousness around 7 years ago, and very, very close people to me do know about it, that there was a big trauma in my own personal life that I was dealing with that made me choose consciousness. But now that I work with the tools of consciousness every day, I study the modality of access consciousness every moment of my life. I want to empower people to choose consciousness, to choose these tools of consciousness without having a crisis. Just because I chose it out of a crisis doesn't mean you also have to. And when I do meet people, a lot of other people from the study of consciousness, they actually did get into the study of consciousness because of some problem they faced, because of a sickness they were suffering from, because of a financial issue. So I don't want you to go down, stoop down to that crisis level to be able to choose it. Why not choose it out of choice? Why not choose it out of desire that I want my life to be greater, and not out of a desperation of a situation that, oh my god, I'm desperate, please get me out of this situation. So, like I said, consciousness will not be your therapist, it's not your doctor, not your psychiatrist. And a lot of people also feel, let me tell you, that they say that don't tell me about this consciousness, don't pull me into this study, because if it's meant for me, I'll choose it. If destiny has to throw it in my spiritual bank account, I'll probably end up doing it. So people live in this choiceless reality that I have no say, I have no choice. If I'm supposed to be conscious, or if I'm supposed to choose the tools of access consciousness, I will. If it's written in my charts, if it's written in my destiny. So I don't think any of that is true. Like I said, it's very difficult to define consciousness, but all of the above things that I said, that isn't consciousness. So let's go with what consciousness isn't rather than what consciousness is. So when none of the above that I said, all of that spiritual enlightenment and that hours of devoting to meditation, if none of that is consciousness, then what is consciousness really? And what is the study of access consciousness? And who am I? And what do I do? And how do I contribute to people? And how am I choosing to be a contribution to changing my own life at first and then changing lives of others? So, consciousness, actually, simply put, if you put it in simple words, it's all consciousness is something which allows you to look at greater possibilities. When you're always fishing for greater possibilities in your life, when you're dropping all the conclusions. And what is a conclusion? A conclusion is a judgment. And like I said, the founders of consciousness say that consciousness includes everything and judges nothing. There is no space of judgment in consciousness. Sorry. So, consciousness is about getting out of judgment. That truly is consciousness. And now I think a lot of you may say that this is ridiculous. We will never get out of judgment. Consciousness is supposed to be omnipresent, but in the life that we live, in the current state of affairs of our life, I think judgment is omnipresent. I think we are always consumed into judgment so deeply. Judgment is in our work life, in our personal life. I think we wake up in the morning and our day begins with judgment of our own self, of our bodies, of our personalities, of how our life is unfolding, the judgment of all the people that we have in our life, all of our relationships. So, when consciousness has no space for judgment, how do you get out of this ocean of judgment that we are literally living in, that we are consumed in, that we are so deep deeply sucked into? That is the problem again, why that people don't want to choose consciousness. Now, when I talk about judgment, actually we do a lot of talks about judgment when we do our when we do our classes of consciousness. And it I have realized that people like judgment. People like to have a little element of judgment in their life, because they feel, if I stop judging myself or if I stop judging others, how will I keep a check? It's my way to keep my body in check. It's my way to keep my health in check. It's my way to keep my relationships in check. Sorry, that is not judgment. If you want to keep anything in check, judgment is not required. Something else is required, and that thing is called awareness. And that is something that I will be talking about today. And like I said, A for awareness, we will talk about awareness. And the difference between judgment and awareness, again, very simply put, is that judgment is all about right and wrong. ये सही है, ये गलत है, ये अच्छा है, ये बुरा है. And awareness is, okay, so it is what it is, but now what else is possible? That is awareness, where there is no space of right and wrong, no space of good and bad, just a simple acknowledgement that, okay, it is what it is, but now what else is possible for me? So now that I think, been able to not explain, I think release the points of view around consciousness, I want to now throw some light at awareness. And what is awareness? Let me put it in a way. So a lot of people may be confused that why is she saying awareness and consciousness? Aren't these words synonymous? Aren't these words interchangeably used? Well, they are. They could be, because we never had the idea of how consciousness and awareness are similar yet different. So basically, consciousness could be seen as the destination and awareness is the journey. Yeah, so let's take it like that. And awareness, my friends, has nothing to do with factual information about anything, nothing to do with your general knowledge of the things around in the world, nothing to do with the current worldly affairs. It's good to be knowledgeable. Please choose that for yourself. It's great to be up to date. However, that is not what awareness is. Awareness is more like an energy, more like this subtle rhythm, this symphony, this tune. It's more like an energy of tapping into other energies, asking for awareness from the earth, asking for awareness from your body, asking for awareness from every element that comprises the universe. And now I know I have confused you a bit, so I want to explain with some examples. And if you've heard me before, and if you've heard any of our chats before, Jessica and I love to take examples. I think it's very easily explained with examples and people retain it better. So now that we're talking about awareness, and awareness has nothing to do with theoretical knowledge, like I said, I'm going to start with a strange example. Please allow me to do that. So, when, for example, awareness is something, you're having a backache. Today, you're having a backache, and now you are aware, you have this awareness that your backache has nothing to do with being physically ill, and your backache will not be healed just by popping a pill, popping a painkiller, or going to your physiotherapist, or getting a back surgery, or putting a healing balm, a healing soothing balm. Awareness is knowing that my back will heal in an instance the moment I receive energy from the earth, the moment I allow energy from the earth to flow into my body. And that is what Access Consciousness allows you to do. Those are the energies you tap into. You tap into the energy of the earth. What is earth? It's a ball that we live on. It's a ball of energy, and we are energy. So when we entangle these energies, there is this flow of energy receiving and energy contribution that heals, that has its healing capacities. And being trained and being certified to do that with Access Consciousness, also with Theta Healing, we can tap into different energies and ask for awareness, receive clarity, and then change our body, change our mind, change our being, and just change our limited points of view that cause the disease, that cause the backache in the first place. And like I said, it's not only the earth. You can tap into nature, you can tap into entities. And now, what are entities? Now that I've brought it up, entities are just beings without bodies. Like you and I are beings with bodies. We have a body, we have a physical form. Now, beings without bodies, you may call it ghosts, you may call it spirits, whatever it is that you want to call, they exist. And that is an awareness, and that's something that you should acknowledge. Yes, there are spirits all around us, but we're unaware of it. And that's okay, that's how we've been living our life. But now we are trained to, I wouldn't say chit chat with, but ask for awareness from entities. Yeah, that's another strange example that I'm giving. And sorry for bringing the the weirdest examples out today. And I think I would say that I've expanded your horizon of thought. So let's take it like that. Awareness includes everything, like I said. Consciousness includes everything, even the earth, even entities, even spirits, howsoever you may call it. So, and how does awareness happen? Like, how do you become aware? How do you receive awareness? You receive awareness when you start asking questions. So, what are those questions that you can ask to receive awareness? How can you frame questions in a situation? Let me give you a little insight into that by giving you, I think, a simpler example. Let's go to a simple example now. Let's talk about bodies, because I use that very often when I am facilitating a client during a session. Both Jessica and I, we love to tap into the energy of bodies and ask for awareness. And when you do that, you are tapping into somebody's subconscious mind, and that's where all the answers, all the clarity, all the awareness is hidden. So, for example, next time I actually want to give this bit of an exercise to all of you, all the listeners here, that every time, I mean, next time, now, from now on, if you ever have a body, I mean, you have a physical ailment, you have, it could be something small like a sore throat. I think we're all dealing with sore throats because of the corona phase. I think we all energetically pick up the fears, and the moment we have an itchy throat, we're like, oh my god, I have to get myself tested. So that's also something. That is something that I actually want to point out. It's great that I brought it up, because I tell me honestly, how many of you have felt the symptoms of corona since the lockdown happened, since corona came to our country? And it was never corona, it was just, we picked up symptoms from other people. We just picked it up out of fear, that oh my god, I went out yesterday and today I'm having a headache, or today I'm feeling feverish, I probably have corona, let me get myself tested, let me quarantine myself, let me put myself inside the room. So how many of you, to be honest, ask yourselves, have felt all of those symptoms? That is not, that is something that you actually need to be aware about. We are like, we're like this satellite, okay, that we're picking up energies from so many people around us, and tapping into the corona fear, we are picking up the energies of the entire globe. Imagine, that is the kind of pressures that we are living with. So next time, if you have any kind of a corona symptom, before you get hassled, quarantine yourself. Of course, please take precautions. Corona is at its greatest high, oh my god. But yeah, instead of hassling yourself emotionally, physically, mentally, getting anxious and stressed about it, please just ask your body a question. Is this mine or am I picking it up from someone? What am I aware of here? What is my body trying to tell me? Ask all of these questions rather than dropping into the conclusion, oh my god, I have corona, let me just now get myself tested. I definitely have it. You'll end up attracting it, you never know. However, instead of going through that anxiety, please ask your body, please ask yourself, is this really corona? And is this really even mine? Is this fever mine? Is this sore throat mine? Or am I picking up negativities from around me? Is this just a fear that has locked up in my body? What is it? What is it? What is it? And you please sense it for yourself. When you ask these questions, that sore throat will go away, because now you have acknowledged that sore throat as not being yours. You have acknowledged that sore throat as being just a fear that's locked up in your body. Yes, our body is the greatest hoarder of all times. It's like this attic, okay, this basement, this huge space where you hoard a lot of thoughts, feelings, emotions, fears, stresses, regrets, guilt, fury, anger, rage. The list is endless. Now, when all of those emotions, thoughts, and feelings go unchecked for a long, long time, they start turning into physical unease. It could be as little as a sore throat, it could be as big as cancer. So, when you start questioning all of these, when you start questioning all of that unease in your body, you receive an awareness, and the moment you receive an awareness, you're free. That sore throat will go away. And why I think I'm giving this example more for my own peace, because I have been getting so many calls, from friends, from family. Oh, please do a theta scan on me. I'm feeling a little feverish today. Do I have corona? Or I've been coughing all day since morning. Do I have corona? So guys, none of the tools of access consciousness make you dependent on us. We want to empower all of you, and we want to tell you that you have greater capacities than anyone else in the room. So please tap into your own awareness rather than asking questions all the time, rather than fearing that, oh my god, I can't help myself. I need a certified healer to be able to do so. We're always there to help you, we're always there to share awareness with you. However, being dependent on us is not the only way to be. You can ask these questions, you can use these tools and create more ease for yourself. So that was all about, asking for awareness from your body. And even during healing sessions, it's not only to do with your body. You may, when we meet with clients for a healing session, they generally come with a problem in hand. It could be a relationship that's been troubling them, it could be their financial situation, it could also be a sickness that they're dealing with. So instead of buying into their stories and getting very empathetically connected and attached, and every we don't fit ourselves in the other person's shoes. That is something that we cannot do. If we do that, if we ever do that, we become liabilities. We would never be able to contribute to them with total ease. The entire motive of a session wherein you require answers is again looking for awareness. So if you're here with a financial problem, okay, so we start asking questions. Why is it that you are choosing it? And what's the best part about it? What virtues are you learning from it? And how are you secretly benefiting from it? What are the hidden agendas here? And is it making you a stronger person? Is it making you a greater person? How is it working for you? How is it secretly serving you? So we have a huge set of questions that we ask depending on the situation that the person brings up, depending on the problem that the person is dealing with. And the moment you start asking all of these crazy in-depth questions, there is some awareness that seeps out. And again, why am I focusing so much on awareness? Because number one, awareness is the key to liberation. It will free you of all your problems, all your anxieties, all of your all of your issues in your interpersonal life, your health issues, your financial issues. Awareness will release all of that. Also, awareness will allow you to choose something better. Awareness, once you have the awareness that I created this in my life, oh my god, I created this disease for me, then you also have the power and capacity to uncreate it, to undo it, and to create something better for yourself. And that's why the entire focus is only on finding awareness. And again, now we're talking about my healing sessions. I want to tell all of you, if any of our regular clients are on the call, I mean, listening to this audio, they would know, and we always prepare you for it when you take a session from us, that none of our sessions are a feel good session. Like, I'm very guilty charged, maybe not actually. So none of our sessions are feel good sessions. They're all about triggering your subconscious mind, triggering your thoughts, feelings, emotions. We talk to you about certain things that you live in denial of, and the moment you start getting aware, when we start asking you questions, you're like, suddenly taken aback. A lot of people start feeling a lot of emotional unease, and that's a great cue for us. We know that that's working. So the entire objective is to create this, what do you call, like an internal tsunami. Okay, we just shift, we create that shift inside, so that something moves, something shifts. And what seeps out? Awareness. Because awareness, the thing about awareness is that awareness, this this really, like, it acts very, very pricey, let's put it like that. Awareness acts really pricey. You have to work really hard at times to get it. And awareness is this thing that's playing hide and seek with you. It's hiding under a lot of layers of anti-consciousness. Okay, so you have to peel all of those layers. And what are those layers of anti-consciousness? It could be your pain. Pain is anti-consciousness. Everywhere you have pain, please understand right now, assess your body. Everywhere you have pain, that's your space of anti-consciousness. Everywhere you are feeling resent, you are feeling hatred, you are feeling guilt, you are feeling blame, shame, anger, fury. Those are all the spaces of anti-consciousness. And the moment you start releasing all that hatred, that fear, that regret, that pain, awareness seeps out. And we actually did a workshop a few months ago. It was called Awareness Beneath the Pain. Now, as the title suggests, we were looking at what is the awareness that your body is giving you, for which it is creating the pain. So all the participants of that workshop, I mean, obviously all of those people chose to be in the workshop who were dealing with some physical pain, some sickness, some disease. So we started to ask them questions. It was a 4-day workshop, and we looked into every aspect of creating pain to to their in-depth matter. And we allowed people to choose the tools of consciousness, the questions of consciousness, to receive their awareness. And it was a lot of access clearings we gave, a lot of theta clearings, a lot of theta downloads that we gave. And the results, to be honest, were spectacular. So there were people who had, all of the members of that workshop, there were people who had knee pain, people who had eczema since childhood, people who had the restless leg syndrome, somebody had a frozen shoulder. So all of those pains, all of that unease in the body was released with the use of those clearing statements, just by acknowledging the awareness. And isn't that amazing? Awareness, the moment you actually look at something, the moment you be present with it, take a moment to look into that matter, the entire issue, that lie of pain, that lie of the disease, actually vanishes away. And it's, let me explain it better. I haven't explained it very well. Let's take an example of a wound. For example, you fall down, you hurt your knee, and it's like a big open wound. And now you rush to the doctor, and the doctor says, "Oh my God, your wound is too big. It's oozing out too much blood. I can't look at it. I don't have the heart. I may not be able to look at it. I can't. Just go." How will the doctor, without looking at the wound, heal the wound? Is it possible? It's not possible. You have to be able to look at it to be able to heal it. The same is with your emotional thoughts. The same is with your internal well being. If you're not willing to look at something, if you're living in denial of something, you will never be able to heal it. So, this workshop that we did allowed people to look into a lot of things that they were living in denial of. And the moment you stop denying it, and the moment you be present with it, that okay, it is what it is that I chose up till now, that pain just goes off. It's like this annoying little toddler that is crying and being all full of tantrums just to get your attention. That is what your body does at times. When it requires your attention, it will create tantrums called a pain. If you don't look at it, that pain will turn into a disease. And if you do look at it, like if you give a 2-minute attention to your toddler, The toddler will be happy and the toddler will run away and mind their own business. The same is with your body. Sometimes all you require is a little bit of an acknowledgement that, okay, I'm present with you and I'm ready to look at you, and let's look into this matter together and let's see how we can change it. And the moment you do that, the body receives the attention and the pain just releases. And this is how we received such great validations from all of those members of the workshop who tapped into their awareness, who got present, who received awareness about their body, and their pains turned into ease, their disease turned into ease. And that's the power of it. You have got to look at the open wound. You can't live in denial. And when we do a session, we actually have realized over time now that people do come with a lot of issues in place, and the issues are real, but they don't know what the true problem is. And we call that the digging process. Okay, we call it the fracking process. There are a lot of names, technical names, that we give to these ways of digging deeper into the true awareness. So to actually get to the true awareness, don't you have to get to the true problem? So when you are living in denial of a problem, how can you have clarity of it? How will you be able to solve the problem? So when you start asking questions around it, you first be present with it. Okay, now it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm being present with it. I acknowledge it. I know that I have this pain, and I know, for example, I am secretly benefiting from being sick. A lot of people are, sadly, unfortunately, secretly benefiting from their diseases, from their cancers, from their tumors, from their any sickness. A lot of people are even benefiting secretly from their financial lack. A lot of people are benefiting secretly from their failing relationships, but they don't really know what is it that benefit is that they're receiving out of it. So when you start working with these access clearing consciousness tools, you get to that true awareness that, oh my god, this is how I was secretly benefiting from it. I was just enjoying my victim identity so that people give me all attention that I require. Oh my god, I needed so much of sympathy to survive. I can't believe it. So when all of those sudden acknowledgements happen, things change. Things actually change. And awareness is not like a thing, it's a process. Awareness is a process which starts with acknowledgement. And actually, I'm talking a lot about acknowledgement because before I was thinking about the A to Z of consciousness and I was thinking about the letter A, I did want to talk about acknowledgement because it is so important to acknowledge, to be present with your problems, with your issues, to be able to clear it. So then I decided I'm going to just mix both these two topics of awareness and acknowledgement because they work together. They work in tandem with each other. They're like, partners. So without acknowledgement, you can't receive awareness. They're like, it's like a little bit of a process. It's you acknowledge something, you receive awareness out of it by asking questions, and then you have the key to change. And this is all about acknowledgement that I wanted to talk to you guys about. I wanted to talk to you about how it is that we facilitate sessions. What is the motive of receiving a session, a healing session from us? The motive is to get down to the true clarity of what the problem is and then receiving answers once you've acknowledged what the true problem is. So, like I said, it's a process of acknowledging the true problem, asking questions around it, receiving clarity, and allowing yourself to choose something better. And that is what the A for awareness of consciousness is all about. And I am so glad that there were some beautiful people who were a part of this call, and I will be sharing this on my page later on for you to see, to you to watch as an IGTV. Please share it with your family and friends and let them know that there is something like consciousness that can change lives, that can change bodies, that can change the energy of your entire existence, that can change your reality of lack, your reality of dramas and traumas into a reality of ease, into a reality of joy, into a reality of glory. So thank you so much for all of you for being here. And if there is anything that you want to ask me around consciousness, around awareness, if there's anything that you want me to repeat, I would love to. Any questions, or have I entirely confused all of you very well to my greatest capacity? So, all right. So, please join us again next week as we go on, continue with the series, and we talk about B, the letter B, and we will be talking about being, the true being of you, the true unmasked, real being of you. Because when you're truly being you, without any filters, without any judgments, without any pleasing energy, without any proving energy, when you're actually being you, then you're truly being conscious. So that is one of my favorite topics. Jessica will be taking that up. And do bring in your questions, DM us your questions beforehand if you want to know anything about consciousness. We would love to add all of that in our little talk. And so Nehal asked a beautiful question, how to know what an awareness is. So awareness, like I said, it has nothing to do with right or wrong. Awareness has nothing to do with ये अच्छा कर रही हूँ मैं या बुरा कर रही हूँ. That is decision making, that is judgment. Awareness just comes to you, it just flows in like an energy. And please allow yourself to be human enough that you're not supposed to start receiving awareness in an instant. I have been practicing the tools of consciousness for the last 7 years, and for the last 2 years I've become very thorough with it, and I do it at a very, very regular basis. And now I feel awarenesses come to me easy. Awareness will probably come to you like a breeze. Awareness will not be a conclusion that, oh my god, I had a bad stomach today, probably because I ate out on the road yesterday. That's a conclusion. That's a judgment. Awareness could be, oh my god, there is something that I need to forgive myself for, and I've been holding it for too long in myself, and that's probably something that I need to release for this stomachache to go. That could be awareness. So awareness doesn't always seem right or wrong. Awareness just is, and it could be very, very ridiculous at times, and that's the fun thing about awareness. So somebody asks, I have continuous business failure, what should I do? Can you please ask yourself this, how are you secretly benefiting from this continuous failure? Are you enjoying this victim identity in any way? How is it secretly benefiting you? And what virtues are you learning? What life lessons are you learning with everything that is going wrong in your life? And all the obligations that you have assigned to your failing business to teach you lessons of life, to make you a greater person, to make you a better person, to make you a stronger person. Can you please now destroy and uncreate all of that? So when you start asking yourself these questions, something shifts inside you. Like I said, the internal tsunami happens, and then things move and the awareness seeps out. But you've got to give it some time. You've got to be present with it for a moment. You can't just live in denial कि business fail हो रहा है because किसी ने नज़र लगा दी. That's a judgment. That's a point of view. You are choosing your own reality. You are creating your own reality. And if you have the capacity and the potency to create your reality, why do you end up creating failures? Because there is something that you are benefiting out of a failure. So you've got to question that. How am I benefiting out of it? How am I receiving from this failure, and how is it working for me? Okay, so I'm not understanding this question very well. So how do we get to the right awareness? My friend, your question is not right in the first place. No awareness is right or wrong. You cannot judge an awareness. Awareness just is. Like consciousness just is. Like God just is. Right? Awareness cannot be right or wrong. Awareness just is. If that awareness comes to you, you have to again dig deeper. Okay? Dig deeper until your pain goes away, until your problem goes away, until your business gets out of failure and starts showing success. And awareness is like an onion. You've got to peel the layers till you get to the bud, till you get to the root problem. So ask questions around it. And like I said, awareness may not come to you. That's also my point of view. Awareness may not come to you just in an instance. Awareness may not come to you just by asking a question right now. And you'd be like, oh, I'm asking questions. I've asked a huge list of questions you gave me, Anshul, and nothing works for me. Can you please be in that space of being present for a moment, giving yourself time, knowing that you're human, and it could take its little time. And for me, it's really strange. My business hours, I think, are set when I sleep. So every time before I sleep at night, I do try to connect to theta, and I do try to work on my subconscious, or I do try to tap into energies. That's my greatest productivity period, when I'm just about to sleep, because I'm relaxed. My 2-year-old has slept off and my husband has slept off, so it's my time. And then I ask for awarenesses. So very, very strangely, I receive awarenesses in my sleep, in my dreaming state, or I receive awareness as soon as I wake up the next morning. Awareness will not come to you at a stipulated time. It doesn't have a timetable. It just knocks at your door at the oddest moments, and you've got to be there to receive it. That's your job. Your job is to receive awareness without judging it कि ये सही है या गलत है. If an awareness has come to you, work on it. Okay, keep asking questions, keep peeling those onion layers till you give yourself a life of ease, till you give your body a disease-free, space just to be. That's your job, to receive out of awareness. Thank you so much. So yay. So we come to the end of this live today. We are very, very excited to have you all next week as we talk about B. And okay, so we have another question. I'll take just a couple of minutes to answer. Okay, so how to be happy even when things are not, how to deal with situations when everything is going smooth but you're still not happy. So, what is it? Can you ask a question? Like I said, awareness will always come after a question. Can you please ask yourself a question, that what is the true problem here? Like I said, a lot of people are living in denial of their true problem. They're just camouflaging it with a lot of other things, because the moment they have the true problem in their hand, they will judge it. For example, I'm just taking a very, very hypothetical example, nothing to do with you, the person who asked this question. But if you are secretly jealous of someone, if you are secretly jealous of someone's joy, happiness, even when things are going great in your life, you'll still be unhappy, right? So when you have these acknowledgements, sabse pehle you start judging yourself कि छी, I am really not being happy because I'm jealous of someone. How shameful. That is pathetic. So because of all of that judgment in space, you don't allow yourself to be present with the true problem. Like I said, consciousness has no space of judgment. And we guys, we judge ourselves. I think the greatest judgment we ever receive is from our own selves. So the idea is to get out of judgment of our own self, to be able to acknowledge the true problem in place. So you asked this question, now I ask you, what is it that the true problem is that you are living in denial of, which if you acknowledge right now will give you all the clarity and ease that you require. And everything that doesn't allow that to show up for you, my friend, can we please destroy and uncreate all of that? So that's how it goes. We use clearing statements. We curate such fun clearing statements. We use really funny language at times. We use triggering words. That's my favorite. It's like sitting with a bullet, with an energetic bullet during a healing session. And it always seeps out some awareness from the person and something shifts. And that's what we do. And that's what we want to contribute to you with. And that's what we want you to choose for your own selves. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you for joining in. See you next week with the letter B, being you, being yourself, being your conscious self. And that's what is something that we're bringing up next week for you. Thank you. Bye.